KORK North Bay, your source for news and happenings throughout the North Bay.
Hello and thanks for watching KORK North Bay TV. Coming up is our weekend wrap covering all the news stories and happenings that took place over the weekend throughout the greater San Francisco North Bay. Folks who live in the town of Windsor are about to be voting on two upcoming measures for two new taxes. One will be for a $96 million bond to cover upgrades and repairs needed for the town's schools, and the other will be for an additional 1 cent added to the city's sales tax to cover city services due to shortfalls in current budgets, which officials say is because of the rising cost for basic public services. So the vote for the $96 million needed for the school repairs and upgrades will be a bond added to property taxes. If it passes, it would add about $350 to $400 a year to the average homeowner's property taxes for the next 33 years. And the 1 cent additional sales tax, if it passes, would bring the city's sales tax up to 10.25%. But even if it passes, they're estimating that it would only raise just over $5 million when the city's deficit is about $10 million. So even passing that additional tax hike, it'll only raise about half of what's needed right now to maintain the current city's budget shortfalls. So we'll see what happens after these two measures are voted on. Crews from CAL FIRE's Sonoma Lake Napa unit have been busy battling fires up in the Clear Lake area. The first fire, called the Kelsey Fire, began at about 2:30 in the afternoon on Sunday, just south of the town of Kelseyville, near the Highland Springs area, that quickly spread to about 4 acres in size. Fire crews were dispatched to the scene and began their attack on getting that fire under control as quickly as possible because a number of homes were in its path. Thankfully, they got that fire headed off by about 3 o'clock that afternoon and then had it fully contained by about 3:30, so no structures got damaged. And then on Monday morning at about 6:30 a.m., another fire broke out just east of the Hidden Valley Lake area between Highway 29 and Knoxville-Berryessa Road. So fire crews jumped into action again battling that fire, which they're calling the head fire. At about 7:30 in the morning, the fire had burned an area of about 2 to 3 acres in size. But because of the winds and the dry, brushy terrain in that Knoxville Hills area, it quickly spread to about 20 acres in size, and then 20 minutes after that to 30 acres in size as it approached Berryessa Knoxville Road. Because of the steep terrain and the difficulty that the fire crews have had accessing the fire, at about 9 a.m. the fire had jumped to about 70 acres in size. So CAL FIRE called in even more resources to their lineup, including helicopters, planes, more bulldozers, more water tenders, and more engines and ground crews. But despite all of that, by about 10 a.m. the fire had jumped to 95 acres in size. They're doing their best to head this fire off and get it under control as quickly as possible, but this fire is being a bit challenging for them. If any more details come out about it, we'll bring them to you. This story is going to begin by sounding like one of those "a guy walks into a bar" jokes, but in this case it's exactly what happened, and trust me, it was no joke. In Vallejo on Wednesday at about 10 o'clock at night, a guy walks into a bar on Lewis Brown Drive and started threatening patrons inside. According to the report, the man, who was identified as 40-year-old Drew Dittman, a resident of Vallejo, was told by staffers to leave. But instead of leaving, he pulled out a small revolver and started waving it around, yelling, "If anyone touches me, everyone in here is going to die." But then thankfully, he decided to leave and go outside and sit in his car. But he wasn't done yet, because then he decided to point the gun out his driver's side window at people sitting in front of the bar. Police were called, who showed up and found him still sitting in his car, so they conducted what's called a high-risk felony stop, which usually means their guns were drawn. But Mr. Dittman wasn't done yet with his antics and tried to drive away. So the officers blocked him in so he couldn't, which prompted him to finally give up, and he was taken into custody without further incident. Inside the car, officers found the revolver sitting right there on the passenger seat. Dittman was arrested and booked into Solano County Jail. Thankfully, no one was hurt in this incident. In Fairfield early Friday evening, a fire broke out in the garage area of a home on Diamond Way that quickly spread to the main part of the house. Firefighters from Fairfield Fire Department were quickly at the scene, where they began their attack on the fire, while other crew members made sure everyone in the house had gotten out safely. Thankfully, no one was hurt, and 4 dogs that were inside the home were rescued and brought out to safety by the fire crews. Unfortunately, the fire had spread very quickly to the main part of the home where it began to collapse, so crews had to move outside the home to continue battling the fire, so saving the inside was no longer an option. There was no word on what the cause of the fire was, but investigators are working on finding that out. We're glad that no one was hurt and that the 4 doggies were all saved and safe. Coming up on August 10th, the city of Petaluma will be stopping their fixed route and ADA paratransit bus service on the weekends. They will, however, continue the service as normal on weekdays from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., but the weekend service will cease. The reason for stopping this service was simply due to the lack of use, where only about 3 riders every 2 hours were using the service, so it wasn't worth keeping these specialized ADA access buses running all day with virtually no one using them on the weekends. Now, for those who need bus service with handicap or ADA access on the weekends, they won't be stuck at home because the city will be using their free on-call ADA bus service called LumaGo, which can be summoned for free pickups and free rides by using their phone app, which is available for free in all Apple and Android app stores. To find out more about this free LumaGo ADA bus service, please visit transit.cityofpetaluma.net/LumaGo. This broadcast is sponsored by Mike Larbury Automotive. 5-star ratings for all of your domestic and import automotive repair needs, located on Highway 12 in Sonoma. Mention you saw them here on KORK TV to receive a special discount. And also by Sonoma Paint Center, your source for all of your home and automotive paint and supply needs.
Transform your home or business with Sonoma Paint Center. As your local Benjamin Moore retailer, we've got everything you need to paint inside and out, plus top quality stains. Step inside our Santa Rosa location or visit us in Sonoma, Sebastopol, and now our newest location in Napa. From vibrant colors to durable finishes and required supplies, we'll help you bring your vision to life. Sonoma Paint Center, serving you at Santa Rosa, Sonoma, Sebastopol, and now Napa. Sonoma Paint Center, color your world.
Well, that's it for our weekend wrap. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it. We'll see you again on Friday for our weekly wrap. Remember, you can watch us on our website at KORKTV.com, or you can also watch us on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or on our new YouTube channel. In any of those platforms, just search for KORK North Bay TV and add our channel to your favorites. We'd sure appreciate it. We'd like to wish everyone a safe, healthy, and happy week. Thanks for watching.